Hey, how we doing? Very good, thanks.
Donnie, we talked last week about maybe their multiple defense and clearly that caused some issues for you guys. How much was it that, and then also just execution? Problems on you guys that led to some of the offensive stalls.
I don't know why we're always talking about in reverse here. Y'all need to come on Mondays, I guess, or something. I'm in South Florida now, but Navy game was just like I told you it's going to be. Limited number of possessions against a very good defense. I think we had the ball 4 times minus the 8 seconds we had. It'd probably be 5 in the stats, but it's 4 times you had the ball. You better not turn it over, which we did 2 times in the second half. And I think that was the difference in the game. A good defense, got a lot of scheme, a lot of multiplicity. They did some things. They had 2 weeks to prepare for us. They had some good things in that they hadn't done. That's part of the game. Everybody does that. We just got to score more points. We had a 99-yard drive off the 1-inch line that we settled for a field goal on the 3-yard line. And, in the end, you beat yourself up all night about, well, if you go and you score, you get 4 more points. That might have been the difference in the game. It may not have been because they may have played it differently if if we'd had 4 more points. At that time, Coach asked me. I thought that was the right decision to kick the field goal because they had just driven the ball entirely down the field and got to the 1-inch line and didn't score. And wow, it's going to be a limited possession game. It's probably not going to be a very high scoring game. They were going to eat the clock up. They were having to call timeouts. They were running the clock so low, okay, down, and they almost ran it too much a couple of times. So limited possessions, you better get some points. After going 90 some yards, you don't want to not get paid. But I think in the end, the game really just came down to the 2 turnovers. We fumbled the ball on our side of the 50, which we've been really good on offense. We haven't given the defense a short field maybe 2 times all year. They turned it into a touchdown. And then we had the ball last, and we had 2 timeouts, and we were trying to get it out of there a little bit, not give them the ball back. And we had a chance moving the ball, and, we were about 2 pass plays from being in field goal range, and we weren't just playing for a field goal, what I'm saying, but we were trying to win the game. And we made a bad decision. We threw an interception, and I got to do a better job of getting him not to do that. And I think it really came down to that because it was going to be that type of game. I knew it was going to be that type of game. We expected that. We expected that last year, and it didn't turn into that. It turned into a score fest last year, but you can't plan that way. So, they're a good defense. I give them all the credit in the world, though. They won the game. That's what the whole thing's about, winning the game.
Did them packing 8 on the line affect any of the offensive plays that you were running? Or were you prepared for that?
Yeah, they ran their defense. They had some different stunts. They fit the runs a little bit differently. The linebackers spun backside, and played for the cutback a little bit differently. But everybody's going to play to stop the run. They do that at all levels. The NFL throws it all the time, and they still play to stop the run, though, because if a team can run the ball, you have no chance to beat them. So I don't think it was anything there. I think they played hard. I think they played well. You know what I'm saying? I do think there were some times we didn't play as good as I wish we would have played. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we beat ourselves up hard on that one. That was a hard loss. That's a tough loss. That'll sting for a long time, probably forever. But we've had to just kind of put that behind us because, South Florida don't care. They're not going to take it easy on us either. So, yeah, I don't know if that answered your question or not, but I tried to.
You talk about keeping the backs fresh a lot. When Keaton went down, Rajay saw all the touches. Was there ever talk football in there?
Well, when Keaton went down, that obviously you lose a big play guy right there, and I think there were some times, obviously, that he would have helped us because he's pretty good. I thought Raji had a good game, though. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're glad you got 2 backs because I thought we still had a pretty good back in there. We were ready to get Marlon in there, and it's time for Marlon to play. I think he's earned it. He's had a great week of practice right now. So, yeah, we try to rotate our guys in. It was such a limited number of plays. I think we had 27, 25 plays in the first half, so it wasn't that we were tired, like that. The second half, I think we ended up getting 65 plays. So I don't think anybody was tired, that way. But Raji did a good job. But we were ready to put Marlon in there. We were ready to go with him. So it just didn't happen. But there was, if we could have kept the ball a little bit more, if we'd have moved it a little bit better, we would have gotten him in there.
Maybe this is the last Navy question, Don.
Okay. No, I'm okay. It comes with the job.
Um, the number of runs we had on first down, was that a situation of that someone just checked that, something Holton checked into, or is that kind of a
I don't know what was our ratio. What was it? Run to pass.
It was not good.
I don't know. You may check your facts on that then. So I don't know. What do you think? We ran it too much? Is that what you're saying?
Just on first down.
Yeah, I don't know. We were pretty balanced, I think. Now, a lot of our runs are RPOs, so it depends on, what they're doing like that. But I don't know. I probably need to check that then because I think it's probably a little more even than you thought it was.
Looking at the rewatching the game, it seemed like the line they would have it blocked up good, and the backside the guy would come in to tackle, or a hole would be missed. Is it just like one little
Yeah.
thing here or there that would, maybe bring a run?
Now, that was very, very, very accurate. They blitz a lot off the edge, and that's what they did a good job of. Was they would blitz, they would slant, and you've got to cut those guys off. The rule changes now where you can't block low like you used to be able has really hurt some of that. It's hurt their offense tremendously, because they can't cut on the perimeter anymore. There's a lot of times you can't cut up on the backside anymore. It's hard to get those guys cut off. That was a factor. And then the other factor, like I say, was they were taking their linebacker, they were slanting, and he was actually looping back. The slant was making the ball cut back into the guy, and he was making the tackle. And, so you got to go to a full zone. Say at halftime we made a couple adjustments there. You're going to have to block it a little bit differently than you've been blocking it. So good scheme by them. That's part of the game there, though, to do stuff like that. Guy's been around a lot of good football. He's very experienced. He's done a good job, I think, of just kind of getting them sound, and he's got some good athletes. They've had a lot of injuries, so they've played a lot of different guys. In the end, that's probably made them better. You know what I'm saying? It's probably weren't better when those guys were hurt the first game, but they've gotten better because they've had to play more people. They got more depth. They've had a tough schedule. They drew a tough schedule down there. I don't know, who made that schedule out, but they had Florida beat, should have beat them. Okay, bad snap where they win that ball game on the field goal. BYU's a tough opponent to play. We all know that, especially early. You're playing a bunch of 26-year-old men, so they're a little bit more ready to go for the first game sometimes. That was a tough assignment right there. But I just see that he's got them in a very sound defense, and they're not making a lot of mistakes. They're not giving you stuff. You got to go earn it like that. And it'll be a good challenge. It's going to be a good game. We're looking forward to it, though.
When you're playing a team that get blown out in their last game like that, do you have to go back to that Florida game to find your tape?
Yeah, they didn't play very well against Louisville, I guess, which, Louisville got off to a bad start, so probably everybody thinks Louisville's not very good. But, Florida State and some of those guys think Louisville's pretty good now. And Florida State looks better. You have to watch it all, though. I don't know what – I guess did they come off the Florida game? I guess maybe that was a big game. South Florida. We know what that's like the week after you play a team like that. But you have to watch it all. You have to watch everything they do, how they play. With it just being him in a new defense, there's no last year's film to watch. So you've got to watch all this year's film. This is the first of those we've been able to do, though, and you had 4 games, so it's been good. I think we know they'll have something new in, but I think we know what they're going to do.
I believe this is the most man you'll probably seen all year, if I'm correct. Do you feel confident in your wide receivers' ability to – because they really haven't seen the wide block.
No, yeah. I mean, personally, I don't want to give anything away to them. I'd rather play that kind of scheme. Navy blitzed us and played off of us, and it was all zone blitz and wouldn't let you get the ball behind them. You didn't have time to throw it deep, and then they played so soft off of you, but they were blitzing you. They'd get free guys and make you throw it fast. These guys will challenge you a little bit more. They've got some nice corners, though. They're big, they're tall, they've got long arms, you know what I'm saying? They'll press you, they'll get up in your face a little bit. But I'm very confident in our wide receivers that they'll enjoy that. Now, we don't get to see that much out of our defense either because they play more like Navy does. So I think our guys are probably excited about seeing some man coverage. Hope we get it.
Colton, he played so good through the first 3 games. Had moments, but I guess when you see him make that throw at the end of regulation, he knows he shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
You guys know, can you even stress it anymore? Is it more just
That's the thing. I think he's played great, and I thought he was playing fine in that game too. But you're defined as a coach. You're defined by how they play, and I'll take that. And as a quarterback, you're defined as how you do. And it's a win business. It's a win business. You win, okay. That's the thing. When you win, you have to correct those mistakes, too, because sometimes you make mistakes and get away with them. But it was a costly deal. And, the thing is he's just such a great competitor, and he wants to win, and he never gives up on the play. You just what you stress is, okay, learning from it, because you can't just be thinking about it. Okay, I can't go out there and make a mistake. What you coach is, okay, it was 2nd and 1, and we had 2 timeouts. And so play was covered, and you scramble. Throw it away or run and make the first down. If you take a chance and run, because we had 2 timeouts, you can afford to run the ball. That was the beauty of saving our timeouts. Coach had done a great job of keeping the timeouts. We'd burned 1 on defense when we had something happen there communication-wise. So that's what you just stress the situation. You just go back over it. We will probably try to play that again tomorrow in Thursday's 2-minute, because it'll be fresh. Okay, here's a new situation, because there's a billion. We try to create those situations every week. We try to come up with something, but you draw it from something that's happened. You see a game, like this week we saw where, the Oklahoma, Kansas State had a substitution issue, and they didn't get to go for it on 4. Boom, you write that down. You go in, you start coaching that. Hey, this could happen to us. How do we handle that? So we'll try to go back and just coach the situation. You can't just keep saying, well, don't turn it over, don't turn it over. That's not coaching. That doesn't do you good.